Okay, let's do some examples using the rules that we just talked about, that the squares of the legs of a right triangle add up to the square of the hypotenuse. Okay, because what I'm doing here is I'm giving you a picture of a triangle, of a right triangle. It has two sides, and I want you to find the missing side. Okay, and the way we're going to do it is we're going to focus on the squares. Okay, we're going to focus on the squares first, and then at the very end, we're going to find a square root to come up with our answers. I'll try to explain this. Okay, so here we have a right triangle. I'm going to go ahead and find the squares that I know right away. Okay, I know this is a 9 by 9 square. So I know its area is 9 squared, or 81. Okay, I know the square. I can figure out the area of this other square. Okay, it has side 11, so it's an 11 by 11 square. Okay, its area will be 11 squared, or 121. Okay, so we just find the two squares that we know, okay, that we can find right away, just because we have the side length. Okay, now we need to put on our thinking cap. We need to find the missing square. Okay, so what do we know about the two squares of the legs and the square of the hypotenuse in a right triangle? And I should have mentioned this, the hypotenuse is across from the right angle. Okay, this is the right angle. This is the square of the hypotenuse, because this side's the hypotenuse. Okay, the two squares of the legs add up to the square of the hypotenuse. So I can find the missing square by just adding the 81 and the 121 up. Okay, and that gives me 202. Okay, so the missing square has area 202 because the two small squares add up to the big square. Okay, now I can find the edge of the square, and that's actually what we've been trying to find all along, was the missing side of this right triangle. Okay, the missing side of the right triangle is the bottom edge of this square that has area 202. Okay, so its side length would be the square root of 202. So you need to use your calculator for that, or you can do an online calculator. It gives me about 14.2. It's rounding these to the 10th. Okay, so the missing side length of my right triangle, this side right here, is 14.2. Okay, let's look at one more in this video. Okay, we want to find the area of all three squares and then find the missing side, because what our goal is to find the missing side of this right triangle. Okay, I want to find the missing side length. Okay, this right here. I want to find the missing side of the right triangle, and I'm going to use the squares to help me do it. Okay, so first I'm going to find the two squares that I know. Okay, I know I can find them. I can find the area of an 8 by 8 square. Okay, it's 8 squared, which is 64. Okay, I can find the area of a 14 by 14 square. Okay, that would be 14 squared, which is 196. And now I can actually find this missing square, because I know that the squares of the legs add up to the square of the hypotenuse. Okay, so and I have the square of the hypotenuse. I have the square of one of the legs. Okay, so these two small squares add up to the big square. Okay, I'm not going to add like I did on the last problem. Okay, you know what I'm going to do with the 196 and the 64? Okay, I have to subtract. I have to subtract to find the missing square. So I'm going to take 196 minus 64, and that gives me 132. Okay, again, the two small squares add up to the big square. Okay, so if I have the big square and a small square, and I need to find the other small square, I'm going to be subtracting instead of adding. Okay, so my missing square is 132. I want to find the edge of this square. Okay, that's going to be the square root of 132. And in my calculator, I'm getting about 11.5. So the missing side of my right triangle is about 11.5. Okay, try the next ones. I'll either give you the solutions or a video for the other problems so you can check.